Welcome to another Digital Matters on this lovely Friday. And today we'll continue on with looking at WordPress and some of the things in there. Today I thought we'd talk about the media gallery and what you can actually do within the WordPress media. So we're in the back end of Narrabri website here, which is our surf club website. And if you look down on the menu on the left here, you've got your sort of media settings here. And I can tell you, from me, being in this industry for a long time, the media libraries now have been just got so much advancement in them and the way that they work and what you can do with within the media libraries of these CRMs like WordPress. In that, if I want to add an image, I just add new and I can drag and drop files, and by default it sort of compresses them. It can do all sorts of stuff with them, and and they're there ready for you to use throughout the website wherever you need them. As you can see down the bottom here, we've got some new merchandise we've started loading up, and I guess you can, as I say, you can either select files or you can bring up your your Finder, for instance, here, and go to where you need your images. So I've got a lot of stuff here for images for the surf club. So I'll have a look through some of this and find some images. There we go. What have we got in there? Nothing. All right, that's great. Oh, there we go. We'll come back and I'll find some images in here anyway that I can actually.
You got a couple just below where your mouse is now.
Yeah. And I've got one where we had quite a few in there. Branch Carnival Mollymook. Here we go. So again, like with all these sorts of things, what I can actually do is drag and drop some of these things in, and I've got some images here. I'm just going to grab a couple of these and bring them across, and it's simply a matter of as you go over the window, it uploads them sort of for you. So it is really a fantastic little setup. The way that this actually works. I would say if you are looking for banner images or something like that, that you obviously have to do some modifications sometimes to those images, and you'll need an external program to do that, but you can actually do it within the program as well. So I can bring this up and you can actually edit it and adjust it. But I would say if you're looking for the ultimate sort of image to work properly, editing it in a professional image editor before you actually upload is a better option. You can, obviously, there are a lot of plugins now. You can see down here, we're using one called the Smush plugin. It's appropriately named Smush because it actually gets the images and compresses them and makes them optimized for the website, which is a big thing with SEO these days, in that images need to be of a reasonable size so that the website becomes a reasonable size for someone to download. And that can only be sort of seen if you actually go to something like, Page Speed Insights, for instance, and you find a website, and so this Google Page Speed Insights, if you put your web address in there, it'll actually tell you how good, bad, or otherwise. Now, I'm not expecting great results for the surf club because it's got some big images on it, but I'll just give you an example of what this is and what you can do with it. So it tells you from a mobile perspective and from a desktop perspective. And one of the key things is the size of images on your site and how quickly they load and how many of them you've got to load. It does take a little while. So you can see there on mobile, we only get a 25. Desktop, we get a 41 out of 100. And, there's a few things here like render blocking resources. It has, it's not complaining about images that I can actually see, which is probably a good thing. But a lot of sites we go to where we run this tool, there's image problems there. So that needs to be fixed. But back to WordPress. That's a great little tool to have a look at, that sort of stuff, and you can certainly run it on your own website. With this actual media library tool, if I do want to grab an image and do some work with it, so if I wanted to get one of these, and actually I'm just going to have a look at some of these, and I'll go down to quick look. So great picture there. I want to turn that into something that I'm going to do something with. So I've got Alex on the call here. Alex, what's the general size for a banner image, Alex? Can you tell me? Is he on mute? Has he come off mute? You there, Alex? He's not listening.
If you're on a mobile device, I'd say, or up to tablet, I'd keep it like portrait.
Yeah.
Or if it's desktop, then I generally kind of aim for about 2,000, as long as it's about 2,000 pixels wide.
2,000 pixels wide?
Yeah.
Right. And
I think with WordPress, you can always like auto-generate different sizes anyway, so you want the original to be a lot bigger than what you're going to need for the banner. Yeah.
So if I adjust this now and actually set that to 72 pixels, 2,000 width, height 1339, that's where it brings it up. And I'll just make sure I save as on that, and I'll duplicate. You always want to keep your originals. So I'll just go back to tools. I mean, I'm just using obviously a very simple preview, Mac preview here. Generally though, for banner images that are going to fit on the actual website themselves, you do have them quite wider than they are longer. Would that be right, Alex? If I'm looking for a banner image to go across the front of a page like these ones here, would that be correct or not? It's gone again. Tools. I'm going to adjust size. So if I actually come up here and grab my tool here, rectangular selection tool, I think I can grab this and make it a bit less, and I'll crop that and I'll save it. And I'm going to get that now. Molly 21 of 275 copy. So obviously my aim now is just to grab that and upload it to the website. And my computer's just having a little conniption here. I'm assuming everybody can still hear me. Come into dashboard. Media, library. Okay, grab that, upload it. Now, we were just discussing before we started recording about some of these themes and how they operate. Essentially, a lot of them, you go into the actual theme and actually and have a look at sort of the appearance, and you go into themes, or you go into theme options to actually modify sort of some of the front page credentials that are within the theme. This is a purchase theme. So for me to actually change this, I go into appearance and then theme options, and then the slides that are along the front page are just here. So if I add new slide, I can upload image obviously, or I can actually find the one that I need. So you can see here it's asking me to upload an image. I don't need to do that, all right? What I do need to do is actually go and find the URL for that image, which makes it a little bit more interesting. in that you need to then go into the actual media where we just uploaded everything. Here's the URL just here. So I'll copy that URL. It should be in my clipboard. I'll just make sure. No, it's not. Copy URL. There we go. Got it there now. So there's my image. I should be able to come back to my settings and appearance and theme options now. I think that I should be able to save that now, and let's actually see if we actually got that in there. Yeah, it's got that there. I can drag that to be the first image that comes up. Obviously setting the order there, make sure we save. And then back to the page again. And there's our image, which is quite large and obviously needs to be adjusted. So again, as you can see, like I've just uploaded that image there thinking that it was going to be okay. It's too big, and you know, it's obviously made the site a bit wonky. So our aim now is to actually probably fix that up. We'll go back. This happens, you know, if you're operating your own WordPress site. We'll go back to the home page. It was this one here. I'm going to delete that, okay, and save. And then we need to go back and obviously do our editing properly. So I've either dragged and dropped the wrong image, or I've made it too big to fit on the page. And when we go back now, this should obviously have been fixed, and you'll see that the image is back to where it needs to be. So one of the things you can do as well is while you're on an image, you can actually inspect the image, okay, and it brings up an inspection tool that you can actually then go and actually find different things like dimensions and stuff like that. Or the other way is obviously open image in a new tab. All right, and we should be able to, you know, save this image. And this is just ways to obviously find things. You can save that image, and I'm going to put it, you know, on my desktop. Save. All right, you go back to the tool that you're used to using. Open that up, and then we can have a look there at that there, and obviously go in and adjust size, and it will tell us what it is now. So our width at the moment is 1500 by 520. Now I'd obviously did mine 2000, so it's obviously too big. So bring back my my images from here, and we'll go down to where that was, Mollymawk. And where are we going here? I think I'd have these things sorted out by now. I've still got that image open in preview. Anyway, you get the gist. In that, now we'll go back, and there's my image there. 5 tools. All right, adjust size, 1500. Still 1004 high. All right, so obviously need to do some more cropping of that. Okay, so grab my tool, rectangular selection. It tells you what size that's going to be when you obviously hover over it. Okay, so I need to be somewhere around there. So I need to get an image window of, say, that big. And there we go. So hopefully I can move that down. I can drag it down. I'm not going to get much of those nippers in there, all right? But that's about the size that I've got that I need to work with. So I've cropped that. All right, that's my image now that I need to upload. Back to my media manager. 21 of 275. So, and I'll obviously go and upload that and then link it back as I did. Anyway, that's a bit of an idea of the image manager and the media manager in WordPress. Hopefully you get an idea of what you can do with your WordPress site. And, anything to add, Matt, or questions?
No, I think what we've just had an insight into how much work is involved. So even though these tools are very clever, they're not automatic.
No.
And therefore, that's why we have Alex on the team and others. And it's quite incredible, having watched Alex work his magic many times, just how much time it does take. So I think this has served, if for no other reason, as an insight for that, to give people a better understanding of the level of detail that goes into to make a site work, not only look good, but work well in terms of page speed, SEO considerations, and so on. Absolutely.
And I guess, with this, it's a continual work in progress with any site to keep it up high in the rankings. That Google Page Insights tool is a gauge of, a lot of how a site works. I will show you though that if you put something in there like, CNN.com, let's just do this. It's just a bit of, insight into sort of what it offers. I do like to, CNN is just an example, but if I put that in there, we'll wait for it to complete. And I've seen, some sites.
Google.com.
Yeah, use the tool on itself. I do notice that though, there you go. So CNN.com on mobile gets a 5 out of 100. On desktop, it gets a 13. One of the biggest sites in the world.
Try Apple. You expect a company like Apple
to
be all over.
Yeah, it'd be interesting, wouldn't it? To see.
I know what I'm doing the rest of my day.
finding one that gets 100, and you can, but the thing, they get a 40 on mobile and a 71. So, Apple on desktop fare quite well. Now, pants down, if we put ours in here, I
reckon it'll be something like 37 probably.
No, well, again, it's one of those things. I know that. What does it get, Alex?
Something around 37. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll get 37.
Is that because you already looked at it this morning? 50. So 50 on desktop and 76 on 57 on mobile and 76 on desktop. And the funny thing is with this, and I must admit, I have seen on here, the time to interactive or the server, reduced server response time. Now we're using a Google Cloud server for our website, so Google's own tool tells us to reduce the response time on its own server.
What's interesting, Brad, just as a point for all of us, I did do it about 5 minutes ago while you were talking, and it did give a score of 37. So huge variability even within the last 10 minutes.
Yes, it's all over the shop. Yeah.
Yeah.
One day it will be, 82. The next day it will be 20. It's just it doesn't load all. It doesn't. The tool doesn't load all the assets. Not always. I found. Yeah.
Yeah. Right. Interesting.
It's
very unreliable.
I wouldn't dismiss it as a bad tool. I would say that it's a tool that you need to understand and be ready for as a developer if people decide to go there and ask questions. Now, if you do see, a lot of stuff in here, and our topic today was images, where you can improve the actual, sort of size of the images on your website. I think that is something that's really important. because they are the key to slowness on a website, and images that aren't optimized properly. So and then things that can be fixed quite quickly. And I've seen Alex spend an hour or two working with a website on this speed tool to get it in the up in the, like, getting in the greens is hard, between 90 and 100, but it is possible. We've seen it ourselves. I actually took a screenshot of our website once at 100%. I thought, I've got to grab that. But I think it was the only time I did it again 10 minutes later, and I got 92. So anyway, that'll do for today. Good little tool there to work on, and obviously the media library within WordPress. And join us again next week for Digital Matters. Thanks, everybody.